Hello, good morning, students. Today, once again, I am before you to express and exchange our idea about what we learned previously. My dear, today we have the remain portion of the poem, A Tiger in the Zoo. Of course, we studied the unfair justice and unfair dealing with the tiger who is kept in a zoo. Today we have third and fourth stanza to analyze. Just now, I read the third stanza. He should be snarling around houses at the jungle's edge, baring his white fangs, his claws, terrorizing the village. The first two lines describe the status, and second two lines describe in what way a tiger terrorizes the villagers whenever it comes out from jungle. My dear, in the first two lines, it is written, he should be snarling around houses. He who is referred here, he, the tiger, and snarling, roaring, a kind of terrorizing sound, fearful sound that can frighten others. Now the tiger is out of jungle and has come just near a village and is seen terrorizing the villagers. He should be snarling around houses. This line clears that houses are not located in the jungle. So we see that the tiger is already out of jungle and it has come to express his anger. We see in what way a fierce animal frightens other. It has its baring his white fangs. Fangs means tearing teeth, and baring means exposing. Baring his white fangs by showing his white tearing teeth, it frightens others. He has his very powerful claws, and with the help of its teeth and claws, a tiger is seen terrorizing the villagers. In the first portion of the poem, we studied that in what way a tiger is treated. He is already kept in a cage of a zoo and is unable to do anything. He is behind bars. He has his strength, but failure to express his power, his fierceness, his fearfulness to others. So certainly we exchanged and expressed our idea that whenever a wild animal, especially a tiger, is kept in a zoo, does nothing. And my dear, just after this, we have the remain third and fourth stanza to discuss. Just I told you the third stanza, and now we have the last one. And I read, but he has locked in a concrete cell, his strength behind bars. stalking length of his cage, ignoring visitors. The first line, but he has been locked in a concrete cell. Who is locked? The tiger has been locked in a concrete cell. Concrete cell, you may understand, in a very firm cell made of concrete, and it is in the zoo. His strength behind bars, very clearly it is described here that his failure to do anything because his strength has been put behind bars. It shows its status, its physical and mental position, in what way it is kept, and how has been made powerless. Stalking the cage, and very often it is seen that a tiger kept in a zoo only moves and finish the length remain in a cage. And the last line of the fourth stanza, ignoring visitors. Ignore means not to take care. To whom? The visitors. Visitors come for their own entertainment, but they do not understand what is mental condition of the tiger. Anyone can easily realize that in what mood a person is seen when he is in a jail, in a bar. Of course, my dear, we see here, though the tiger is very powerful but can do nothing, he is confined in a cage, but his stalking is mingled with quiet rage. He has his anger, he can express it, but he does nothing. Instead of lurking in the shadows of the jungle, the tiger is confined animal, and earlier when it was free in his habitat, he was very fearful for visitors, and now is seen helpless. So he does nothing. Although visitors come to visit, his brilliant eyes focus on stars visible through the cage instead of staring at a potential prey in the forest. It is but natural, my dear. Our unfair dealing is described. The poet has brought our inhuman act against animals. Earlier, we have the concept they have right to live as freely as we live, but they are left at all. They can do nothing. They have been made powerless. It is what, my dear? It is our nature that we like to dominate others. Keeping animals as a pet or keeping in a cage is what? A kind of domination over other creatures. But we forget that they are also living beings. They have right to live in their natural inhabitat. Why to keep other in a prison, as we dislike living in a cell in a prison, so is with them. So let us take an oath not to hurt any animal, not to deal unfairly, and let them live as we like. Thank you, my dear.